The crystal spire pulsed with an intensity that seemed to shake the planet itself, its light casting shadows that danced and twisted unnaturally on the barren ground. The air grew heavy, crackling with energy as if the very atmosphere had been charged by the awakening of something ancient, something powerful. Alice tightened her grip on her makeshift weapon, though she knew it would do nothing against the monolithic structure or the metallic creatures now emerging from the surrounding darkness. The spire had called them, but it hadn't called them alone. Across the horizon, the skies fractured like a shattered mirror, revealing glimpses of other worlds, other dimensions. Flickers of people, creatures, and incomprehensible landscapes flashed in and out of existence, as though reality itself was tearing apart. "It's not just here," Alice whispered, her voice trembling. "It's everywhere." The orb at the spire's base pulsed again, liquid and alive, its surface shifting to show grotesque, distorted reflections of the wanderers. These weren't mere reflections, they were twisted, monstrous versions of themselves, versions that seemed more real with each passing moment. A deep, resonant voice echoed in their minds, bypassing their ears altogether. "You are the problem. You will also be the solution." The metallic creatures began to move, their synchronized steps creating a rhythmic, thunderous vibration. They formed a circle around the wanderers, their glowing eyes fixed intently on them, but they didn't attack. Instead, they raised their arms, pointing toward the orb, as if inviting the group to approach. "Do we go?" one of the others, Harren, muttered, his voice barely audible over the hum of the spire. Alice hesitated, her instincts screaming at her to run. But there was nowhere to go. The landscape around them had transformed into a maze of jagged crystal formations and glowing fissures. The spire was at the center of it all, and it was clear that whatever was happening, it wouldn't stop unless they confronted it. "Look!" someone shouted, pointing skyward. The fractured skies revealed a horrifying truth. In the distance, a massive asteroid loomed, its fiery tail cutting through the void like a blade. It wasn't just heading for their planet, it was aiming directly for the spire. The orb spoke again, its voice more commanding this time. "Save yourselves, or destroy what remains. The choice is yours." The implications hit them like a blow. The asteroid wasn't random, it was drawn here, a failsafe to eliminate the spire and everything it had touched. If they did nothing, the planet would burn. But to stop it, they would have to give the spire what it wanted, and that could mean sacrificing their humanity. The group approached the orb cautiously, its surface rippling as they neared. Alice was the first to touch it, and the moment her fingers made contact, a flood of visions overwhelmed her. Cities consumed by fire, oceans turning to dust, and a future where twisted, monstrous versions of humanity ruled a dead world. But in the chaos, she also saw something else. Hope. A glimpse of a world rebuilt, where humanity had adapted and thrived in ways she couldn't have imagined. The choice wasn't between destruction and salvation, it was between clinging to the past or embracing a terrifying but necessary change. As the others joined her, the orb's light intensified, and the spire began to hum with an otherworldly resonance. The metallic creatures knelt, their heads bowing in unison as the asteroid drew closer, its fiery glow consuming the fractured sky. And then everything went white. When the light faded, they found themselves standing in a world transformed. The spire was gone, replaced by a massive crater that pulsed with faint, residual energy. The skies were clear, and the asteroid was nowhere to be seen. But they weren't alone. Standing around them were others, humans, but not as they had been before. Their skin was marked with glowing crystalline patterns, their eyes reflecting the light of the spire. They were stronger, faster, and unbound by the limitations of their former selves. Alice looked at her hands and saw the same glowing patterns etched into her skin. She turned to the others, her voice steady despite the weight of what they had just endured. "We're not the same," she said, "but maybe that's what we needed all along." From the distance, a low hum began to rise again, and with it came the chilling realization. This was just the beginning.